folks. It is Melissa and Leanne Weaver.
Hey
I have to do
guys.
this because I'm like, wait, what side are you on? You're on this side. It's like the opposite. Guys, I am pretty excited. I've never done a live with somebody else, number one. Number two, I have never done a live and shared a presentation, so we are going to do the absolute best that we can to talk about a subject that we're both really passionate about, and that is essential oils. For those of you guys who are coming in, please make sure that you just give us a hello, say hi. Remember, this can be interactive. I honestly will probably do our best to answer a lot of questions at the end because that's just what's going to happen. But we're both super stoked about this, and you're going to find out a lot more about Leanne momentarily as she tells us a little bit about herself. But Leanne, are you pumped about this?
I'm super excited, Melissa, and I'm really honored to be your first guest here on a live stream.
Yeah, well, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's definitely going to be interesting, but it's going to be good.
Yeah.
So, guys, as I mentioned, if you are tuning in here right now, please make sure that you say hello, who you are, where you're listening in from, but we are going to dive right in because we know your time is valuable. So I'm going to kick this off right now and let's get started. We're going to talk about essential oils for weight loss, which I know maybe some of you guys are coming in here thinking, I don't know, that sounds pretty gimmicky. Well, we're actually going to talk a lot about the science behind this and why this actually is a really great tool. So let's get started. All right, guys. Here is how you're going to get empowered today with essential oils, okay? For weight loss. Yes, for weight loss. All right, so we're going to cover the following topics. We're going to cover about why your weight is a byproduct of inflammation and what you can do about it. This is going to be a pretty amazing topic because weight truly is just that. It is a byproduct of inflammation. The lymphatic system and the weight connection, why it's crucial for your body for weight loss and hormonal balance. I kind of feel like people don't talk about this enough. You know, even Leanne, like, do you really hear about the lymph and weight loss ever?
You know what's really funny is this week in my free Radiant Lifestyle Facebook group, we have a dry skin brushing challenge. So I have been talking about the lymph, but not always necessarily directly related to weight loss. So I think it's something that a lot of people that's new to.
That's awesome. That's good because I was like thinking, I'm like, this isn't something I hear very much about, but yes, we're going to talk about this because it does absolutely matter, guys. We're going to talk about the weight and the digestive connection. I am your poop whisperer at your service, folks. So, of course, I'm going to be talking about poop and how to love your liver and your gut. I think oftentimes, Leanne, do you get this in practice where people don't really associate the liver with the gut?
Yes, for sure.
It's almost like this separate connection, right?
Exactly.
So guys, it's all tied together. We're also going to chat about low energy. Who here who's watching today has low energy? If you have low energy, this is going to be definitely the section for you. We're going to be chatting about weight gain, mitochondrial dysfunction. I know that sounds pretty complicated, but we're going to get into a little bit about that, why it happens, and what you can do about it. So you might be wondering, who the heck are you? And maybe you might be wondering the same thing about Leanne if you've never heard of her, but she's pretty awesome. So we're going to introduce who we are. My name is Melissa Ramos. I'm a functional nutritionist with a background in Chinese medicine, and I'm also the proud owner of Sexy Food Therapy. I'm also the gal that makes lots of funny faces on screen when I'm doing videos that you guys might have seen. And honestly, I've done a lot of, the media circuit, and while it looks pretty darn glamorous, I will tell you this, I was super burnt out. I mean, crispy burnt out. And I ate healthy food, truthfully, but I'd stress eat. I drank to cope. I had no boundaries, and I'd give to pretty much everybody except for myself. I tried eating less, and I tried exercising harder, and I tried just about everything, and I actually did lose weight. So you're going to see a photo here, 25 pounds heavier and climbing, and you might look at this photo and go, girl, you weren't overweight. But I can tell you that we all get to a point in with our body, we just don't feel comfortable in our own skin. I see Leanne, you shaking your head because you've probably been in the same position, right?
Exactly.
And so this is a big thing. So if you guys if you don't feel comfortable in your skin, please comment below and let us know. I'll say that 2 months later, 20 pounds later, muscle tone developed. Woohoo! And then 1 month later, 5 pounds dropped and I had increased strength. I was 5 pounds less than I was prior to that. Obviously had a little bit of a tan there, so that obviously helps. But I will tell you this much, I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy. And this is the one thing that I think is really important to mention because I was obsessed. And I just couldn't keep up. And I gained all the weight back and then some. And this is a big problem. Like, as someone who has Hashimoto's, an autoimmune thyroid condition, my weight would fluctuate a lot due to massive inflammation. As someone who has had fibroids and a ruptured cyst that tore off a piece of my right ovary, I've had struggled with estrogen dominant issues and weight that would mount on my hips, thighs, and butt area. That's where estrogen dominance tends to just hang out. And I felt like I was a prisoner to food and to my own unrealistic expectations. I wanted freedom and to find peace with my body and food. And I will tell you, I finally reached that place in my life. By working on all the causative factors, I behind my weight and my fatigue, I found freedom. My weight does still fluctuate, guys, I will say. And, I say this because it does fluctuate between 5 and 10 pounds. If you're always chasing the scale and thinking like, oh my God, I gained 5 pounds. You don't gain 5 pounds overnight, just a side note, guys. But now I know actually how to eat even according to my cycle, and I'm stronger than I've ever been. So I rest without guilt now. How many of you guys struggle resting without guilt? On the productivity wheel?
Yeah.
That's a really big one. Yeah, I see Leanne's like, yep, that's me. Yep. I'm no longer striving for consistency, but rather I focus on commitment. I'm a big fan of commitment over consistency is a big thing because you'll always go back to what you're committed to. And I learned one very crucial part about why people struggle to lose weight. So joined with me here is Leanne Weaver, and I'm going to get into what that one thing is in just a second. So Leanne, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So I have a background as an engineer. I've worked in corporate as a corporate engineer and a project manager for almost 25 years now, which makes me seem a little old, but that's all right. I'm also a certified nutritional practitioner, so I went to Toronto's Institute of Holistic Nutrition, and I absolutely loved it. I went while I was still working in the corporate world, so I did that part-time, and it was the best part of my day. After working a long, corporate day job, I actually graduated with first-class honors. So,
congrats.
It was pretty exciting, and I'm also the creator of the Radiant Health Effect, which is a program for women's weight loss and wellness. And what got me initially into essential oils was part of my journey in creating my Radiant Botanics skincare line.
And so tell us a little bit about, your struggles with weight. You mentioned a bit about being uncomfortable in your body. So tell us a little bit about that.
So similar to you, Melissa, and I'm sure a lot of women out there, a lot of women that I hear from. I was 41 years old. I had just turned 41. I'd always been kind of pretty health conscious, I'd say, but I just started to gain weight. And just like you said, not necessarily super overweight, but to me, I felt really uncomfortable in my body. And you can tell in this picture just by like my posture and wearing the baggy clothes that I was not feeling great and not feeling my best.
Yeah. And so what else can you say? I know you were mentioning you're stressed out. Tell us a little bit about that, because I know that this was something that I was like riddled with for so long, was stress, right?
For sure. It has a big impact on your health in so many ways, but especially weight gain. So again, working in the corporate world, I've had various jobs where it was super stressful. And when you work a salaried job, and also similar to what you mentioned, Melissa, I didn't have any boundaries. I would do whatever people would tell me. Like, there was parts of my career where I was working crazy 80, 90 hours a week, until 11 o'clock at night and on weekends and on call. And I was just like, again, I was stressed out and I had no boundaries. So it led to a lot of issues.
And so you were mentioning a little bit about relationships. You said you were in unfulfilling relationships for over 10 years. Who here is in an unfulfilling relationship? Because, like, God knows that this definitely can impact weight as well, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so what else happened after that? You said you decided that something had to change.
Yeah, I was just at a point in my life, the weight triggered it, and I knew that something had to change. So my journey did start with nutrition. I started focusing on my nutrition, and green smoothies is kind of my trademark because that's where it all started for me.
Yeah.
But once I started with that, I did start to feel just more in touch with my body, more in tune with my body, and all the things that were stressing me out, my relationships. I realized how much of an impact they were having on me. And that's when I decided to change my life and my relationship, go to nutrition school, and kind of goes on and on from there. But essential oils from the beginning played a really big role in that, not just like in terms of weight loss, but also emotionally as well, for their emotional properties.
Totally. Well, guys, I'll tell you this. If you want to lose weight, I know that this sounds crazy. You have to stop focusing on the weight. Now, I know some of you guys are probably listening to this thinking like, girl, she's crazy. But I'll say this to you, that it's really important to understand that even though you're sitting there going, wait, what? Are you crazy? I'll say that I began to incorporate a strategy which included essential oils. Same thing, similar to Leanne, that was a part of my arsenal, a part of our arsenal, really. And this is exactly what I'm going to be showing you, what Leanne's going to be showing you, how to empower yourself, as these are incredible tools that you can use to be able to fuel your life. So right now, I want to make you a really bold promise. And over the next 60 to 90 minutes, I'll say to you this. I'm going to share with you, and as is Leanne, how essential oils are an often overlooked, crucial addition to your weight loss strategy, and also how you can gain energy, kick the blues and anxiety, and feel more joyous, and heck, get your life back. So if that feels good to you, then tell us right now in the chat box, hell yes, let's do it, something. Let's bring it on. All right, guys, I want to hear some energy, or at least read some energy from you guys. So I'm sure that you guys are probably like listening in thinking, what the heck makes essential oils so potent, right? Well, these are natural aromatic compounds found in plants, okay? They can be found in seeds, bark, leaves, roots, stems, and these are extracts, guys, and they're extracted and distilled for their potent, very potent health benefits. And I say this because this is something we're using a lot in my clinic. And so you might think, no way, they're actually 70 times stronger than dried herbs? Yes way. I say this because, like, all of you guys, at least, I think, yeah, all of you guys have consumed plants in some ways, whether it was even a tea, whether it was a capsule, whether it was a tincture. But the thing is if you're incorporating it as an essential oil, you're getting so much more out of it. They work on a deep cellular level where our bodies do not develop a resistance. I'm loving the energy so far, guys. Thank you. Jenny's saying, bring it. Roxanne saying, love essential oils. And Stara is saying, excited to learn. Awesome. So you might be thinking, but why are essential oils so darn expensive? This is a question we get all the time, actually. Do you get this question a lot, Leanne?
I do. And I like to explain it and break it down for people so they realize that it's not really, when you take everything into consideration.
Not even a bit. And this is when you factor that they're really only pennies a drop, and that you really only need a couple of drops. A little really does go a long way. Okay, so another big question I often get is, how can we use them safely? Well, you can inhale them. You can use them topically by diluting it with a carrier oil. I think that there's this misconception that, like, oh, if I put it with a carrier oil like coconut oil or jojoba or even like whatever carrier oil you have, that you're diluting it, but you're not diluting it. It's actually, if you put the essential oil on neat, guys, understand that it can evaporate really quickly. So putting it with a carrier oil actually helps it to stay on the skin a bit longer. You can take it internally. Among the single oils doTERRA offers currently, 37 are safe for internal use. I believe that number has probably climbed by now, truthfully. So, and I will say that there's so many amazing essential oils that doTERRA offers. But the thing is, using essential oils for internal purposes means that you go beyond putting them on your skin to ingest them for various specific benefits to various organs or cells. You can cook with them like Beyonce, stir in her little pan. You can drink them like that little goat drinking the water. And you can also put them in veggie caps. I love this. I do this a lot because let's face it, some of them do taste kind of gnarly. But you might be thinking, isn't ingesting essential oils totally dangerous? So Julia Gizzle says, thanks for talking about internal use. Yes, this is a really big question, so happy to cover it. For thousands of years, guys, humans have ingested plants and extracts as herbal products and teas from leaves and flowers, which contain essential oils. So all of you have actually consumed it, even if you haven't even realized it. Oils have an effect on the local tissues, which may be felt more strongly when applied internally compared to when applied to the skin, because the nerves in the mucosa are closer to the surface, often more numerous, and can be more easily stimulated compared to the nerves in the skin. Although the skin is thicker and seems to be less fragile than the mucous membranes, the reality is that similar to the skin, the mucosa has many features that are protective and therefore conducive to the use of essential oils. So, when essential oils contact the mucosa, they are absorbed to some degree at the initial point of contact, but much of the oil will be continually diluted by the mucus. The body really is an incredible thing. This rapid absorption and constant dilution allows the oil to have a dramatic effect, yet temporary, on the mouth or throat. So think when you have like cinnamon, it's like really spicy, right? It's got that, or even like peppermint, for example, another great example. Because the mucosa is designed to be protective, essential oils can be safely used internally. Now, obviously, this is if you are using a high-quality oil. This is one of the reasons why Leanne and I are militant about if we're going to consume them, it's not going to be anything else except for doTERRA. And so you might be like, I still don't believe you. Well, there are a lot of studies to show that they can be very protective on the gut. So many studies show that essential oils can have a positive effect when there's a problem with the stomach's mucous membranes. So limonene, for example, found in citrus oils, have been shown to protect the stomach mucosa in a preclinical study. And this protective effect was shown without affecting normal stomach acid secretion, gastric enzyme secretion, or antioxidant glutathione production. If you don't know what glutathione is, it's like your grandmaster poopa detox. It's amazing. So this is a super cool thing, is that there are studies about this, specifically with limonene. Stara asks, are there any oils to tighten skin? And I will tell you, there is one, and Leanne's going to talk about it in a bit, so hang tight, because she's going to be talking about Botox in a bottle, so hold tight. All right, so speaking of Leanne, I want to be able to kick this off and have you, Leanne, as I move our little screen over here, so we're not in people's face here, but talk to us a little bit about inflammation. So we're on the slide of why your weight is a byproduct of inflammation. So to kick it off, girl.
Yeah, for sure. And this is a really important one that I love to talk about because I see it in my practice all the time. So before we get started on that, I just want to emphasize, guys, like essential oils, they're an amazing tool to be used to help you lower your inflammation, but they're not going to, fix, a bad diet. You have to make sure you're eating all the right whole foods, anti-inflammatory foods, and just using the essential oils to kind of supplement that and to really help with the inflammation.
Thank you for saying that, because this is the one thing that drives me absolutely batshit crazy, is when people are like, so what's the one thing I can do? So everything that, Leanne is saying here is like just so like dead on. These are tools to your arsenal. Sorry to interrupt. I had to put that in there.
No, it's great. I'm glad that you emphasize that, because it's something I always emphasize as well.
All right.
But I know that we still struggle with staying away from some of those foods, like the carbs and the sugars. And that, again, is something that's super, super common in my practice that I see. And people don't realize necessarily that also leads to a lot of inflammation in the body, which contributes to weight gain.
All right. So sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, one of my favorite oils to use to help with inflammation and especially cravings and blood sugar management is cinnamon bark.
Talk to us a little bit about this.
Yeah, so it's great for the kidney and the adrenals, and like I mentioned earlier, blood sugar management is what it's really great at. So if you ever get that kind of hangry feeling, just need a little bit of cinnamon bark essential oil.
And guys, I just want to be able to say what's really cool to inject here is that cinnamon, there was a study that showed that cinnamon actually helps to boost progesterone status, which is insane. And if you wonder, like, what's the tie with weight? Well, when you have low progesterone, oftentimes we can see this gain in weight. So, but, you know, as Leanne was saying, this is great to help curb sugar and carb cravings. You know, when we look at that, like I'm drinking some mineral water here, I put cinnamon essential oil in here. So you tell me when you want to hit the next slide, girl.
Yeah, sure. So we can go to the next slide.
Yep.
In terms of directions for taking the cinnamon, I love to use this one in my water too, sometimes combined with another oil like one of the citrus oils. And in your fizzy water or mineral water, if you like that kind of fizzy taste, and if you are still drinking pop, this is a great replacement. And you can even add a little bit of stevia if you want, if that helps it to taste better for you and you're doing your health so much better than some of the other alternatives. So
totally,
it's a great one.
And one of my favorite supplements. Can we talk to us about the turmeric dual chamber capsules?
Yeah, the turmeric dual chamber capsules. These are amazing. And part of what makes them so amazing is that they actually combine the turmeric powder, which contains the curcuminoids, which you get when you take like the dried herb supplements, curcumin or turmeric. But they also contain the turmeric essential oil, which contains the turmeron. So that's really, really potent when those two are paired together. It just helps with the absorption and makes it really bioavailable for your body.
Big time. So why does this matter?
Yeah, and that's really important. As I was saying, the turmeric capsules or powder, if you get it on your own, it's really difficult for the body to absorb without having fat or piperine extract, which is found in black pepper. So you guys may have heard that when you're taking turmeric, you should always have black pepper. It'll help it be absorbed. Well, when you take the dual capsule chambers, then you don't have to worry about that because it also has the essential oil in there, which is actually even better than combining it with the black pepper or the piperine.
It's pretty crazy, guys. Like the studies that they showed when they did like the, you know, turmeric with the piperine or fat, it's like the turmeric dual chamber capsules. And really all we're doing is putting it in its whole food form. You know, and it's just, I think it's absolutely amazing. So chat to us a little bit about this 2019 study.
Yeah, this is really awesome. So this study found that levels of one of the key inflammatory markers in the blood, which is C-reactive protein, and this is a really, really important one that I always talk to my clients about as well. And I make sure, like, when you're going to get your blood tested, get C-reactive protein because they don't always test that. So again, it's a really important marker for inflammation. So this inflammation appears to be triggered by hormonal and metabolic changes, and it remains in your body until the excess weight is lost. So that's another example of the importance of taking care of that inflammation.
For sure. And so, you know, talk to us a bit. We're just on the next slide over here because I know you can't see everything I'm saying.
Yeah. So that, again, that's why it's really important to have that anti-inflammatory, powerful anti-inflammatory properties to help with your chances of losing the weight.
Because remember, guys, that weight is a byproduct of inflammation. Remember that. If you have weight, there is an inflammatory component. So that's why this is such an important supplement to introduce as part of this, you know, weight loss essential oil little combo that we've put together for you. So what are some other important things to note that really can help us understand this?
Yeah, so turmeric also, it's great for improving your liver function. It also helps with digestion, and it also improves with fat assimilation. And that's one of the things that I love about essential oils is they're not just good for one thing, guys. That's because they do contain multiple different constituents, even in a single oil. So they're working on different systems in your body to provide multiple benefits. So it's super powerful stuff.
It's a really good point. So like multiple applications, guys, multiple applications. So before we actually get to that next slide, I just want to be able to answer a question from Julia, who says here, do you take the turmeric with or without food? Leanne?
You can take it. I don't think it matters, actually. I normally take it with food, but I think you can take it anytime.
Yeah, I agree.
Sure what your experience is.
Yeah, I agree, because like, remember that it's because of the form that is in, because you have the powder and you have the essential oil together, it's in this whole food extract already, so it is considered a food. Now, obviously, if you want to take it with a fatty food, that's also a good thing to help some of the absorption, but I really don't think it matters at the end of the day, but it's a really good question. So, talk to us a little bit about our liver. Did we know what?
Yeah, did you know, guys, that loving your liver daily is also really important for a healthy thyroid? And I know, Melissa, you talk about this a lot and you focus a lot on the thyroid. So it's super, super important in the transport, in the metabolism, in the storage, and in the excretion of the thyroid hormones.
Yeah.
And also being an important site for hormone activity. So it's, again, really important because a poor functioning liver will alter your thyroid function and it'll shoot up your estrogen levels, and that is another factor that's going to impact your weight.
Yeah, guys, if you're like, when we think about weight, we have to think about our liver, and it's one of the many reasons we were talking about the turmeric dual chamber capsules, because it is loving your liver, right? Like, this is such a great liver supplement, and we need to focus in on our liver because our liver is important in all those aspects. And you guys know I talk a lot about the liver, a lot about the thyroid, a lot about estrogen dominance. So huge, huge, huge. And speaking of all that, I know some of you guys might not connect the liver and the gut together, but I was asking like Leanne, I'm like, do your clients think that the liver and the gut are like not associated with one another? But they are. We're talking about digestion. We're talking about the liver as well. Which brings me to this next topic, which is the weight and the digestive connection and how to love up your liver and gut for weight loss. It is so important that you love up your gut. This is where a lot of the action happens, folks. The reality is that all hormonal and weight issues are linked with an imbalanced gut. All. If you don't work on healing the gut, losing the weight will be near impossible. I can tell you that right off the bat. Forget it. Okay? Emerging research indicates that the gut microbiome, which is that bacterial world in your gut, plays a central role in the foods we crave and also in our weight loss efforts. Guys, I'm really curious. What do you crave? Do you guys crave something in particular? Is it salty? Like, Leanne, are you a sweet or a salty gal?
Salty.
Salty. So I'm definitely a sweet. It's one of the reasons why I really love cinnamon essential oil, but it also balances the blood sugar. But whatever you crave, really, your gut's microbiome influences those cravings greatly, and obviously that's going to affect our weight loss efforts. If there's constipation, how many of you guys here are constipated? Gas and bloating. How many of you are gassy or bloated? This can indicate low stomach acid, poor bile flow, and an imbalance in the gut's microflora. So I say this about bile flow because bile flow is actually really important. Now, bile is produced by the liver, but it's excreted from the gallbladder. And I say this because you want this bile flow to happen because that's where all your toxins and these excess hormones that need to be eliminated are supposed to dump into this banana slide of bile and go into your poop, and then you shit it out. But the problem is that if this isn't happening because you have estrogen dominance, you have fibroids, you have endo, you have any of these issues where the weight's packing on, because estrogen loves to call on more fat, and then you have more fat, and then fat goes, yo, estrogen, come on over, let's play. It's this vicious cycle. And then unfortunately what happens is cholesterol deposits begin to deposit into the bile, making it thicker and sludgy, okay? And you have poor bile flow, so you're not getting proper elimination. This impacts your gut, and it impacts your weight, folks. So Tracy, I see some names I recognize here. She says sweets, good Lord. Roxanne says chocolate. Veronica says start sweet and then salty. So what can help to heal a leaky gut? Well, let me tell you. First and foremost, I will tell you, number one, consider doing an elimination diet. I got to talk a little bit about food. I know I'm kind of deviating from the essential oil train, but give me 2 seconds here. But generally, what you love the most has the capacity to hurt you the most, and this goes with just about everything in life, folks. But begin by removing all your major allergens: gluten, dairy, soy, corn, and eggs for like 14 days. And you might be like, oh my God, how am I going to survive? What else is there to eat? But I will tell you, allowing this like anti-inflammatory response to happen because your body doesn't feel like it's under attack is really important to be able to give the gut a bit of a break. So then you can introduce one of these foods in isolation for 3 days. So for example, you take a hard-boiled egg, you eat it in isolation without any other food around it, okay, for 3 days. And the reason why is because sometimes it takes a while for a reaction to occur. So that's important for me to just kind of state, because it's not always immediate. Like that skin prick test you guys do when you're a kid, that's measuring for an immediate response. So food intolerances can be very much delayed, making it a little bit challenged. And write down physical or emotional changes. Okay, and that's why I said generally what you love the most has the capacity to hurt you the most. And this really can further create and irritate your gut and create that leaky gut. So one thing I will say is that Yoga Nidra, guys, I'm a huge fan. If you know me, you'll know that I rant and rave about this. I probably do this almost once a day, but it's a must, especially for new moms. Any new moms listening in right now, if you're a new mom, holla in the comments. But I'm just mentioning this because for those of you who struggle with sleep, especially moms who are being woken up like all the time to feed their baby, or you're struggling to manage stress, or you're in that perimenopausal shift where like your sleep just sucks, Yoga Nidra is a must, okay? Yoga Nidra puts the body into this parasympathetic state, that rest and digest state. And it's more relaxing and rejuvenating the sleep itself. And so you might be like, do I have to like move? No, you just lay there. Like that woman there, you just lay there. And you listen to a recording, and that's it. And so there, interestingly enough, the Walter Reed Army facility actually does or provides Yoga Nidra to their soldiers who actually were struggling with PTSD. And it's interesting because my online business manager, Jules, her husband is in the military, and he's like, yeah, we don't really like to like admit that we do Yoga Nidra, but we do Yoga Nidra in the Army. So it's pretty effective. And also, get to bed. Ladies, go to sleep. Please. And there's a kid's book. Please go. Is it Go the Fuck to Sleep? I think it is. Anyways, there's a book that's something like that. But go to sleep, because if you're not, your insulin response is going to shoot right up. So Cynthia Souza says she is a new mama. So I know that is definitely hard, but you need to go to sleep, guys. If you want to lose weight, sleep your way to weight loss. Seriously. Yep. What oils are the best to address these issues? Well, number one of my favorites is ginger. I love ginger. Love ginger. It contains constituents that also shows a vital role as anti-inflammatory process. Do you love this one, Leanne?
I love it too. Yeah, it's one of my favorites too.
It's so good. How do you take this out of curiosity?
I will sometimes put it in a veggie cap mixed with other oils, and I love the smell of it. I like to diffuse it as well.
I should probably diffuse it more often. I love to take it internally. So it has antimicrobial and biological activities due to its constituents. This is where we get nice and sciencey, folks. Gingerol, paradol, shogaols, zingerone. These are major candida fighters against candida, salmonella, E. coli, like big time. The other thing is it's used in Chinese medicine a ton. And it's because it really is a warming herb, okay? It's used to speed up stomach emptying, relieve digestive upset, reduce intestinal cramping, bloating, and gas, okay? And it's been shown in studies to remodel the gut microbiome. It's like giving it a makeover. Pretty sweet, right? All right, molecules in ginger remodel the microbiome, as I mentioned, and small RNA-containing particles in ginger root are found to promote the growth of beneficial bacteria lactobacillus. How many of you guys have heard of that in terms of lactobacillus, like in your probiotics? But in particular, they activate a pathway expression of interleukin-22. I know that sounds super complicated in the colon mucus, but essentially what you need to know really helps to reduce inflammation. This is believed to promote tissue repair and antimicrobial immunity. Like, guys, ginger is where it's at. It's probably one of my favorite oils from doTERRA. So remember when I mentioned the liver, how it's all a part of this stuff? Well, it is crucial that we work on both phases of liver detoxification. Yes, newsflash, there's more than one phase to improve hormone and toxin elimination and fat assimilation. So green mandarin. Do you love this one?
You know what? I'm kind of don't even want to admit this, but I haven't tried it yet. I think I have all the other citrus oils, and it's on my list. It's on my list.
Oh my God. This one is like my favorite. That's why I was like, I need to talk about green mandarin. This is my section. Because it is like such a... I love to diffuse this one. It's wonderful to take internally, but it has the highest limonene content, guys, out of all the citrus oils, which helps to detoxify phase 1 and phase 2 liver detoxification. It's known for its soothing properties on the nervous system and can support a healthy digestive function. It supports a healthy immune function, crucial for those with autoimmune conditions. Holla, who here has an autoimmune condition? If you do, comment below, let us know, because it's important to make sure that your immune system is functioning well. Oh, Roxanne says, I love this in the water in the morning. It's so nice. It's such a mild citrus oil. I can't even tell you, but it's just, I love green mandarin. And it shunts cortisol. If you don't know what that means, it lowers cortisol. So who here is stressed? Like, if you're struggling with stress at all, I will tell you that it is so important to introduce oils like green mandarin. Girl, I'm telling you, this is so important. I love it for this fact that it just helps with stress. It's like my stress oil. So Jenny says autoimmune here. So I got people, another autoimmune warrior. So green mandarin, how do you take it? So you can take a couple of drops in a veggie cap internally. You can be like Roxanne Dennis, who commented in the comments saying, I love this in water in the morning. You can definitely do that. I love to diffuse it. And I also love the fact that, Leanne, you mentioned before that, like, there are multiple applications. Like, this is the part, guys, we have to stress so much, is that there's so many ways to use this. There's no right way or wrong way, but this is a really great way to use it. However, I love to diffuse citrus oil specifically, but green mandarin is my favorite. Julia Gizzle says, I need a gallon of this.
Can I just mention one more cool thing?
Yeah, totally.
Just while you're on the topic of speaking about how they have more than one uses, right? Green mandarin, I believe, is maybe the only, or if not one of the only citrus oils that is not phototoxic. So a lot of the citrus oils, if you put it on your skin, you're supposed to avoid, sun exposure for a certain amount of time. But this one, you do not have to worry about that. So that's another cool little fact about green mandarin.
That's a great one. I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's awesome. And it's something that you guys should know, that the citrus oils are phototoxic. So remember we were saying that, like, you can put a carrier oil, it doesn't dilute it, it just leaves it on the skin longer. But like, if you were to put oils neat, the oils, even the phototoxic oils, like Leanne had mentioned, definitely can cause some skin irritation. But the fact that green mandarin does not do that is really cool. So talk to us, kick it off. Let us know a little bit about the lymphatic system.
All right. Yeah. So let's get into the lymphatic system and the weight connection with that. So this is one of the most underrated, probably, and lesser known about, I'd say, crucial systems in the body, in particular when it has to do with weight loss and also hormone balancing.
Okay.
So just to get into a little bit more about the lymphatic system, it's really deeply connected to our immune system, guys. So it helps to eliminate fluid and waste and toxins from the body. And the way it does that, it's similar in a way, I guess, to your circulatory system, but it doesn't have a pump, right? The circular system, our heart is pumping through our veins, but the lymph system, you have to kind of physically move it around to get it to work properly.
Yeah. And it's also deeply connected, you mentioned, to our hormones and indirectly to our weight. You mentioned a little bit about your dry skin brushing, right? And this is one of the challenges that you're doing, and I love that you are incorporating that, because, guys, the lymph is so underrated, but you got to move things. So I'm on the slide just talking about progesterone, so kick us off over there and tell us a little bit about that connection, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, this is super cool. So again, back to the hormones, the lymphatic system attracts progesterone more readily. So after the age of about 35 or so, our progesterone begins to decline. And what that does, it means is that it predisposes us to estrogen-related weight issues and other things like fibroids and thyroid dysfunction and a whole lot of other hormonal issues. Yeah. But to move progesterone, our lymphatic system needs to be moving freely. So dry skin brushing is one of the ways that it's a great little habit to get into. It only takes about 5 minutes, and it's amazing for moving your lymph and getting that circulation going as well.
Totally.
So how do we support our lymphatic system for healthier hormones and weight loss?
Oh, I love this one.
I know, and I love the smell of this one.
Because you know I talk about this so often, right?
Yeah.
Okay, tell us about cypress.
Yeah, this is the lymph mover. This is the best oil, guys, to move that lymph. And I love using it on my dry skin brush in the morning because the smell is also just beautiful, and it's kind of helps you feel energized and awake in the morning as well. But again, multiple uses of the oils, right? That aromatic effect, and it's great at helping to move that progesterone. Yeah. So also moving out, if you suffer from edema, moving that water, it increases circulation and blood flow, which is also really important. And that's also been shown in studies to help with losing weight.
Yeah.
So my favorite way to use this one, again, is the dry skin brushing. Just a couple of drops, guys, is all you need. I normally will put it just a couple drops on my hand, rub the dry skin brush, and then you brush starting at your feet. Always brush towards your heart, kind of start at your feet, go up kind of to your stomach area, and again, up towards your heart, your arms, and it takes literally 2 or 3 minutes, and it's a great way to get all of those benefits that we just talked about.
So guys, I want to pause here for just 2 seconds because I'm trying so fast to be able to, I got to show you guys. You guys are going to be a little bit disturbed by this. Don't get freaked out. Hopefully you can see this. See this photo here?
Oh, wow.
Okay, so this is the photo of me in a Hashimoto's attack. See how swollen my face is? It's crazy, right? One of the things I did was I actually added cypress. So as like Leanne was saying, that like you can just, it's great to flush out water. And when you have a swollen face, like there's so much inflammation there. And this is the chi mover. So I was actually putting a carrier oil and I would rub it on my face. And like, granted, this isn't like that. Wait, there we go. So it's still swollen. But between that versus that,
wow.
Like you can see this is like literally the day after. So the stuff actually really works. This is like an amazing, aside from even weight loss, this is a great first aid oil as well. You bump yourself, you got this edema or this swelling there. It's so good for that. All right, so sorry, I had to like break that down because I just thought, oh my God, like I have to mention this. So talk to us a little bit about low energy. I mean, so many of you guys have low energy. Who here is tired? If you're tired all the time, guys, can you comment in the comments? So talk to us a little bit. We're on that slide where the scale and you're stepping on it saying help. So
yeah,
talk to us a little bit about this.
So mitochondrial dysfunction, this is a really important one when it comes to energy and weight. And let's get into why that happens and what you can do about it.
Yeah.
So the mitochondria, guys, how many of you guys have heard of the mitochondria? Maybe know a little bit about what it does.
They're like, what?
Or maybe not at all. That's okay. So it's basically the powerhouse of the cell. And it literally creates the energy that your body uses. So what happens in many cases of weight gain, if there's some kind of mitochondrial dysfunction, and that's what leads to the low energy and the weight gain.
I love this slide.
Yeah, it's so. So some of the reasons for mitochondrial dysfunction: getting older, poor diet, excessive alcohol intake, drugs, cigarette use, all the things we know we shouldn't be doing. And also bacterial or parasitic gut infections. Those can also have a really dramatic impact on your mitochondria, as can mold toxicity. I know this one is one of them that I know people who have suffered from it, and it's hard to diagnose, but that's one of the things that might be happening if you've tried all the other things and you're still suffering.
Yeah, totally.
All right, so while we're on the topic of mold, the mold Aspergillus is commonly found indoors, and this has been shown in studies, guys, to be a cause of thyroiditis in people who are immunosuppressed. Mm-hmm. So, like that's really, really powerful information. And in one study, there was as much as 20% of the people affected were shown to have thyroids that were infiltrated by this Aspergillus mold.
Infiltrated, guys. 20%. Like, just think about that. Like 85, I heard this study, Leanne, that 85% of buildings in the United States have had water damage. Now, it takes about 24 to 48 hours for mold to grow. In 24 to 48 hours. And there's 45% of buildings in the United States that have current water damage. And imagine all the schools that you went to, like how many schools you went to that were old.
Yeah.
Those buildings, right? So even if you're not in a moldy place, guys, it doesn't mean that's like, okay, like, I mean, a lot of the offending is gone, but like those spores could actually still be living in your system. And hence the reason why there's this percentage here. 20% might not seem a lot, but it's a pretty big deal. So I'm on the next slide here. So talk to us a little bit about the symptoms of mold. What do those include?
Yeah, so they can include things like multiple chemical sensitivities, again, fatigue, respiratory issues, and especially sinus issues, immune suppression, digestive problems, weight gain, and inflammation, of course. So again, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, sometimes you might not necessarily tie these to mold, but maybe something to think about if you suffer from some of these symptoms.
Yeah, huge. Oh, I love this one. Talk to us about Mito Max.
Yeah, Mito 2 Max. This one's awesome. It's amazing for supporting cellular energy production and mitochondrial function, which now you guys all know why that is so important.
Totally.
And it enhances stamina. It helps to reduce stress and fatigue, and it actually has adaptogenic support, which is really cool.
And for those of you guys who don't know what adaptogenic support is, think of it helps you to adapt to stress. So that's essentially what we're talking about there. But great supplement if you're tired and you need that stress support, give you a little bit of a boost and rev up that little engine in yourself.
Exactly. And it also helps to increase your mental clarity, which you could probably all use a little bit of that at times.
So tell us, how do we use this, baby?
Yeah, so this one you can take a capsule during intermittent fasting window and one at lunch, which is a great way to do it.
Awesome. So I know you have something special to tell us.
I do, and I'm super excited about this one. And I'm sorry, I can't remember who asked in the comments earlier about skin tightening, but here we go.
Yes, absolutely.
This is a very special oil that not only helps to burn fat, guys, but it's like Botox in a bottle. That's really what it is. It helps to aid in collagen production in your skin. So it can be used both internally and externally as like literally the fountain of youth. And I am in love with this oil. And it is Yarrow Palm.
Love it. I almost feel like we need like a crowd going off in the back telling us
I know,
about
like
it,
angels.
So yeah, totally. All right, so tell us a little bit about this.
Okay, so it's a blend of yarrow essential oil and pomegranate seed extract. So the pomegranate seed oil is rich in punicic acid, CLNA, and also CLA, conjugated linoleic acid. So studies have shown, guys, that these both help with weight loss, which is pretty cool.
And for those of you guys don't know, like Yarrow has an affinity on the liver. Remember we were talking with the liver guys? Like Yarrow really loves the liver, and like just if you don't believe us, punch into PubMed.com and check out CLA and weight loss, and you're going to see that there is definitely that connection. So talk to us a little bit. I'm just on the next slide here.
Yeah, so it's one of my favorite skin oils. It is like liquid Botox, guys. It's known as the fountain of youth due to its skin healing properties, age spots, acne, scars. It helps again to promote collagen and brightens the skin, and it's beautiful. I use it every day and with my skin serum. So you can take this one internally with meals, and you can use it on your face. What I like to do, I have different blends of facial serums that I use, and they're all mixed with carrier oils and essential oils. And what I'll do is I'll take a couple drops of the Yarrow Palm just with my regular face serum every day, and it's just.
Oh, you're doing it every day, girl. You're like, I'm all over that.
Yeah, I'm all over it. And then I'll usually like take it internally while I'm putting it on my face too, just while I have it there, just like okay, some on my face and a couple
bathe
drops
and drink.
Yeah.
I love doing, for me, for those of you guys, like, obviously, like, how we take, as you can see, there's multiple applications with these things. I always say, like, I apply it to my face after exfoliating, and I apply it all over. You're going to get, like, this bluish tinge to your face, and you might be like, wait, why is my face blue? Don't worry about it. Your face will not stay blue. Yeah. But it's this really rich blue oil. Like, it's quite something. This is a very, very popular serum, guys, but it's just so cool that you can take it internally and externally. It's actually a source of omega-5, which we don't hear very much about, but you know, this is what we're looking at when it comes to weight loss, and why this is such a beautiful oil as a little oil that we're talking about that is just so amazing.
Yeah.
All right, guys, so I want to hear from you right now. How are you feeling? Because I definitely, like, write down a word below, like excited, pumped, like want to hear more. Well, that's more than one word, but like write down below how you're feeling and let me know that you guys are still there. Because are you ready to add potent essential oil tools to your weight loss efforts? Because you showed up today, because you're tired of trying to figure out what is going on with your weight, feeling devalued by doctors. How many of you guys have ever felt that? Gaslit by your doctors and not having answers? You know that there is a better way. Deep down, you know that you have the ability to heal your body and lose the weight with the right tools and guidance. So let's begin that journey together. So Jenny says she feels inspired, which is awesome. I love that word. And Paula says she's inspired. Amazing. So it all begins with empowering yourself with natural solutions. And this is a really cool thing that Leanne and I love. Julia says, I feel like maxing out my credit card. Okay, we've got some great characters on tonight. I love essential oils and the fact that, like, empowering you with natural solutions, you totally are your own healer, guys. Like, we are just your facilitators. We're not your healers. We're your facilitators. That's it. We give you the info, you run with it, okay? So you might be like, how do I get started? How will I be able to make the biggest impact? How do I get the most for my money? What should I order to get started today? Trust me, here is the weight loss essential oil formula, and we have put this together for you, and it is a beautiful little kit of the cinnamon, of the turmeric dual chamber capsules, of the ginger, of the green mandarin, the cypress, the Mito 2 Max. It's pretty fantastic. So here are some gifts I'm going to give just for you. Number one, this is a medicine makeover pamphlet. This will get mailed to you by yours truly. Yes, that's right. I will actually mail this out to you. And it's really cool because it teaches you how to take some of your most popular things in your medicine cabinet and how to actually do a little bit of a swap, a natural swap, which is really cool. Learn how to completely revolutionize your medicine cabinet with natural solutions that work. You're also going to receive, when you order this kit today, a 30-day plan on how to use all the oils mentioned in your daily life with your weight loss issues and how to use them in other applications, which is very cool. You're also going to get another little pamphlet mailed to you, and this is the Essential Oil Quick Reference Guide, and it helps you to empower yourself with the foundations about essential oils, quality, and suggestions on what you can incorporate in your daily life. This quick reference guide is a must. Also, you're going to get an ebook that I'm going to email to you with a little mini recipe ebook. It's a delicious mini recipe ebook featuring how to use essential oils in various recipes from dinner to dessert. It's actually pretty cool. Things like grilled romaine hearts and even some desserts as well. So you'll love it. You're also going to get a coaching call recording in case some of you guys want to learn how to create financial freedom with essential oils. We certainly can show you that. There's a coaching call that will be there. You're also going to get a 1-year wholesale membership where you'll receive 25% off all year round. This is a $35 value. And I was going to like knock on my desk, but I'm like, my dogs are going to start barking. So I can't do that. But you're going to get a free wellness consult with yours truly to tackle your issues so I can help you create a 90-day action wellness plan. That's right. So this is your opportunity if you're looking to be able to create a wellness plan. The spring is here. You want to get kickstarted. You want to feel great, look great, as the weather is warming up, and you really want to be able to have that guidance. You and I will jump on a 1-hour free consult. And that's where I'm going to detail that 90-day plan for you. So this is huge. Also, when you order from now until Saturday, you're also going to receive a free bottle of Citrus Bliss valued at $24. If you have never smelled this, I will tell you right now. Leanne, is it not amazing?
It's beautiful. It smells like a creamsicle, exactly like a creamsicle.
It totally does. It has all these amazing citrus oils that they've combined together, and they've added the vanilla into it. So you're going to get a free bottle of this when you order today. These bonuses have a combined value of $424. You will receive them all for free today when you end up getting this weight loss EO formula, which I am going to just quickly for you guys throw this into the comments so you guys have this. Let's see, grab. Of course, I'm over the cap here. Okay, I'm just going to throw that out here. All right, grab your weight loss bundle. There we go. All right, so back to our show here. So how much do I save? Let's talk a little bit about that. So buying retail, I've listed all the oils here, how much they would be if you bought them retail. The total retail cost would be $255.67. So the one thing I want to say is that plus the bonuses, which are $424 in bonuses, the total combined value would be $679.67, of which you're not going to pay that. In fact, you're going to get the kit today for $198.50 when the total value is almost $700. Like, that is freaking huge. Just a side note. Oh, but it's so expensive, Melissa. I know, this is probably what you're thinking, right? Well, is it? Let's break it down. And this is the part that I really want to show you. So I have listed here that in the bottle, okay, so we have cypress. So cypress, and sorry if I'm looking over, guys, but cypress, every single bottle of oil has 250 drops per 15 ml bottle, with the exception of the cinnamon, because it's a smaller bottle, it has 85 drops in it. So cypress per drop is 8 cents. Ginger is 21 cents per drop. Green mandarin is 15 cents per drop. You have cinnamon, which is 38 cents per drop. The turmeric dual chamber capsules, based on the serving size, is 82 cents per cap. And the Mito 2 Max is $1.17 per cap. So remember that essential oils are up to 70 times stronger than dried herbs. So they're technically less expensive with multiple applications. And this is the part that we've been saying the whole time. Lots of applications, 70 times stronger. Yeah. And now if you want to add the weight loss fountain of youth, what Leanne was calling the Botox in the bottle, you can get it for $95 today. And I will tell you, it is worth every single drop. And the reason why is because you can use a couple of drops and add it to your current facial cream if you want, the way that Leanne does it, or you can slather it all over your face once a week like I do. But like, really, a little bit goes a long way. So you can get the base weight loss essential oil formula, and that comes out to $198.50 plus tax and shipping. And you're going to end up getting tons of bonuses for that. Or you can get with the Yarrow Palm added to that for $293.50 plus tax and shipping. Okay? Now, I'll tell you this much right now. There is a 30-day money-back guarantee, 100%. So if you participate in the protocols and you put it to work and you're still not satisfied, I will happily refund you 100% of your money. So I just want to be able to state this because the essential oils really do work. So I have put the link there, guys. I am just going to go back to my thing here. So we are both on camera. There we go. All right, guys, so I have put the link below, and as I mentioned, if you want to get in on the special, the only thing I'm going to tell you is you need to get in on the special before Saturday end of day. Saturday end of day. That's it. It has to be before then, otherwise the special is disappearing. So make sure that you join us, because if you do, remember, you're not only getting like a $200 package, you're getting literally a package that's worth like $700 because you're also getting that free consult. And again, you absolutely don't have to get the Botox in a bottle. It is amazing. And if you want to get it, that's great. And if you don't, that's totally fine. You can still go with the base package, which is absolutely incredible, with the cinnamon and the cypress and the Mito2 Max and the green mandarin and all the amazing things that are there that I think you guys will absolutely adore. So I've put the link in the comments, and if you join us, I think that you will absolutely love it. So Leanne, out of curiosity, out of all the oils that we spoke about today, which oil would you say is your favorite?
Ooh, that's such a tough question because I use them all differently. Of course, I love the Yarrow palm. That is probably my favorite, I'd have to say.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Yarrow palm is definitely up there for me. I think I'm just such a fanatic about cinnamon.
Yeah, that was a close second. I'm kind of for different purposes, but I also love the cinnamon.
Yeah, it's really hard because even the turmeric dual chamber capsules is just such a really, no one's done this on the market. Like, I will never suggest turmeric to anybody. Like, if you have fibroids, guys, any of these inflammatory conditions, these hormonal conditions where we often see that there's an association, like, that's such a powerful supplement. But these oils, we've put this package together because they really do work synergistically together. So the fact that you have this package is going to be great. And the one thing that I want to be able to remind you of is that when you get this package, you're also going to get that protocol. Remember, so if you're like, I don't remember how to take this stuff, I'm going to get this stuff, you're going to send, I'm going to get it delivered to me. How do I take it? Well, I'll tell you that if you get this protocol, or if you get this kit, you're going to end up getting emailed the protocol and how to do this. So I'm going to send that to you, so don't sweat it. But again, you got to get this before Saturday end of day. This is a huge, huge deal. Veronica says, the Yarrow palm is only for the face. So
no,
it's not. You absolutely can use it for the neck, the chest. People were so fanatic about the Yarrow palm for so long that what doTERRA did was they invented the Yarrow palm body serum. So then people could use something on the face. So Gail goes, what package? You must have literally just joined us because we've been talking about this the whole time. So I'm going to put the link again there for you. So Gail, I put the link there again. That's the link to purchase the essential oil weight loss package that we have been talking about this evening, in case maybe you just joined. But we really hope that you can join us in this. We hope that you have enjoyed this. And Leanne, thank you so much for doing this with me.
Thank you. It was an honor, and it was fun to join you here tonight.
Yeah, it's fun because I'm like, guys, you have no idea what this poor woman was up against. I'm like, hey, can you do this like dual interview with me? I'm going to walk through the slides and I'll follow along, even though she's literally leading blind in it. So you kicked ass today, and I really appreciate you being here and sharing a lot of your knowledge about the oils, and some little added tidbits that you have provided us with has been great.
Thank you. Yeah, it's super fun. Super fun.
Awesome. Well, guys, you have until Saturday end of day. Feel free to rewatch this. Feel free to ask questions. So if you're watching this replay, it's a Friday, it's a Saturday morning, ask questions, because now is your time to get in all your questions, and Otherwise, after Saturday, it's gone. So make sure that you put them down below. And stay tuned, guys. I have so much more coming up on my YouTube channel. If you have not done yet, please make sure that you subscribe. There's a little bell button on the top right-hand corner of my YouTube channel. Go click that bell button. So then that way you get notified every single time that I'm live or I post a new video. There's so much more coming up here, I promise. So thank you, guys, and thank you, Leanne.
Thanks, Melissa. Thanks, everybody, for watching.
All right, guys. Bye.